I guess for the second coin I'd like to take a look at closely with you guys is Cardano. And this is a coin that's very interesting because it's been kind of, not to put it down or offend anyone, but it's been kind of a little bit circle jerked around the technical community because of its academics behind it. And I'd like to, before I go into pointing these four out, I have another tab open with the overview on CoinMarketCap. Whether it's accurate or not should be around a general summary of it. So in brief, I'll go through 4 points in this video very quickly. Cardano in brief, what is it and my opinion of it. Number 2, where is it going next and where it might go. 3, the hype in Asia, it's kind of bringing up in the narrative at the moment. And 4, what I think of it overall and the roadmap ahead for 2018 and possibly 2019. So let me go to this screen. Cardano is abbreviated as ADA, and they have their official white paper along with a website. They have their own wallet, and it's currently sitting at 70 cents, which is very impressive. And I'm going to switch back here because I want to say Cardano in brief and then also my opinion of it. So in brief, Cardano is basically, people are saying, the third major evolution of the blockchain itself. People, when I'm referring to people, I'm saying people as in, I would say, the cryptocurrency and also the technical community that revolves around cryptocurrency. So I guess in this narrative, people are saying Bitcoin was kind of like the first, revolution within digital currency, and then Ethereum was the second step towards that. Now there seems to be on a underground forum level, I guess, saying Cardano is the third evolution of that. So rightly so, people are saying it is a evolution of Ethereum. And I've read the white paper. I've also read what people are saying on different sites such as cryptocurrency forums and Reddit. Quora has some interesting things, but more of like at a high level. So that's probably not the best place to read about it. But what I'm getting from it is that Cardano is basically a cryptocurrency that's supposed to be open source and also to have a strong community of academics and scholars behind this currency. And I think they're trying to kind of position this currency as the cleanest and most transparent currencies out of all of them because of its open source community and because of the type of people it's attracting. What do I think of this overall? I think that it very well is kind of like a circle jerk at this point. I'm not saying the currency is bad or the idea is bad. I just think that, with so many altcoins coming up, and keep in mind, I'd like to point out, when you go on CoinMarketCap or whatever cap board that you use, it's not limited to only the first page. I think people forget there are, hundreds and hundreds, possibly up here it says in over 1,000 different cryptocurrencies at this point. And what they all have in common is a lot of them have very well written white papers. Some do not, but some do. My opinion on this is I think Cardano is a great currency. I think the ability to kind of have this movement where people are, a little bit more transparent on their communities and trying to come out and saying, we have, academics and scholars behind this is, a very bold move to say. That's basically kind of like a passive, aggressive way of saying, we're not a team of cyberpunks and pirates. We're civilized people, and we're in institutions overseeing all this in a professional manner. And I think that's kind of funny. that's in the narrative, and if people want to see it that way or not, that's more or less what's kind of going on. Um, I think why I was mentioning the other coins there earlier is because a lot of these other coins do have white papers, and it seems to me that if you're able to write a decent enough white paper and make it somewhat convincing to the reader that this is a coin that's different, there seems to be some sort of halo effect. And if you guys aren't familiar with that kind of pertains to, it would mean that basically that it would basically mean that people that have the ability to create either an altcoin or a version of it, and throw a white paper in front of it that's well written, kind of passes along as kind of like a forward-thinking idea at this time. And I think we're gonna see a lot of these. I think we're definitely gonna see a lot of these. Different kind of opinions like arise for the next couple of years. I mean, Cardano is definitely not going to be the last one. For all we know, there's going to be an even better iteration of it. Possibly, you don't never know. It might pop up in the next month. Might pop up tomorrow. That might that might kind of make Cardano look like Ethereum at the moment in terms of a narrative. So that's my overall thoughts on it. I think there's so much hype on so many altcoins at the moment, just because if someone can write a white paper and create a branch off Ethereum or altcoin itself, then you're automatically labeled a forward-thinking community or a person. So that's my opinion. I think, and that's kind of what's going to be expected. But aside from my opinion, let's go back to the second point. Where is it going next? Where is Cardano going next? Cardano is really interesting because it's been going through these mini rallies that's kind of been overshadowed by XRP at the moment. XRP is kind of getting all the attention, and it looks like right here that Cardano just seems to be again at kind of like a conservative flat line, jumps up a little, and there's I'm a little surprised it kind of receded down here this much, but then goes off in a little mini rally almost simultaneously to XRP, and at the moment it's sitting on 70 cents, I believe. That's pretty impressive considering that just a couple weeks ago it was 10-11 cents around this point in time. Even we see here just last week it was 40 cents, and right now it's at to 71. So for the second point, where is it going next? I think in terms of price, I'm going to break this down in terms of price, in my opinion, and also where I think in terms of the overall culture of Cardano. This looks like a coin that it's pretty easily going to go up to $1.50. I would say I would be really surprised if it didn't go to $1.50 by the end of January this year. That would be really surprising, just because of the rate, how the attention it's getting at the moment, and in terms of, I guess, the overall culture of where I think this is headed. This seems to have this cryptocurrency is very interesting because it seems to have a cult of personality with it. As I was saying earlier, if you look on sites like Reddit and alternative forums, it's kind of being labeled like the academics coin, or it's backed by researchers and PhDs, and that doesn't really make sense, but people to that caliber. That's what I'm saying, and I think that's an interesting twist. I think it could very well possibly be pitched as a coin that is academically backed, and that's kind of where it's headed already. And that's really where the hype is coming from. I mean, if you didn't tell me it was academically backed and I've read the paper, I would just say, well, it just honestly looks like a, different opinion of Ethereum, just in more of a open discussion level. But that's not the case. I guess it's attained kind of a cult of personality at this point. So that's where I see kind of where the community in this currency is kind of headed. And as we go along through each day or the week, I'll post more videos on where I think how this is evolving to. So we'll go back to our third point, the hype in Asia. So I'm bringing this up because this is kind of this coin is being kind of labeled like the Ethereum of Japan. It's also indirectly being called like the Ethereum of Korea, South Korea. Sorry. Whether I don't know where those rumors are coming from, but I'm seeing it pretty frequently online. Is it the Ethereum of Japan or South Korea? I mean, at this point, like, we really don't know. It's kind of being thrown in many directions. The other direction was what I was saying earlier, which is the academics coin. So the hype in Asia is interesting because I know this coin in Asia is being looked at a lot and being bought frequently through the exchanges from what I'm reading, what I'm seeing. And I'll include a link below in the description to back that claim on where I've seen that. And if anyone has some better material, feel free to message me and I'll add it to the video. So the fourth point I'd like to say is, what's my overall thoughts on this coin and also the roadmap ahead. I kind of already said it in point number 2. I think Cardano overall is a cool idea that they don't have to really say and overemphasize it's backed by researchers and academics. I think that's kind of missing the whole point here. I think the whole point is that community just wants to prove that this can be an open source coin with an intellectual integrity, and I believe that's what they're trying to say with this coin. It's just that I think they don't know how to communicate that. So the only way they know how to communicate that is to tell the whole community out there that it's backed by researchers and academics, and I don't think that's done in a pretentious way. I think that's done because they literally don't know how to say directly, we want a community behind this currency that has intellectual integrity and transparency, and that I think that at the end of the day, that's what they're trying to say. I understand, because there are currencies out there, and I want to make a video later on which of the altcoins I think that lack transparency, and I know the people who are watching this know which coins those are already, and if not, I'll include a video titled that way. And that's basically what I feel of my overall opinion on this. I think it's a little too early to kind of label what Cardano is going to be. I think I can confidently say what it started as and what it's trying to be, but at the end of the day, I can't really say for certain. Is it a coin that's going to be added on Coinbase, or is it a coin that's going to be popular among the exchanges? For this year, I maybe towards the middle of this year, we might see more of that. I think in if you're in this community already, which is the cryptocurrency community, I think I think this is already a coin of interest, but I don't think on a mainstream level this will get any attention at all, probably until maybe the middle of this year, or possibly the end of this year, which is 2018, towards Christmas. So that's my thoughts. I think we still have a lot to see, and as we go along, I'll make more videos on this.